All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about why you shouldn't go to all of these different masterminds and events. And I know, I talk about going to masterminds all the time, but there is a very, very fine line between going to a mastermind for just social gratification and like fulfilling that need, as to compared to going there, pulling out whatever you need in that situation, and then taking it and moving forward. More times than not, you probably haven't finished what needs to be done, and this is probably just me projecting onto you, but until I get done everything that I wanted to implement from that last mastermind that I learned, then I don't see a point in going to the next one and the next one and the next one. Especially with like right now we're in 3 of them, and we have like, that means we got 1 month every quarter that is just travel for masterminds, and I see that as me not being able to work and push the ball forward in what I'm trying to accomplish. And so right now we're not going to go to our next 2 masterminds. I got one next week and we got one a little bit later, and then we're going to really cut back on our travel overall, unless it's me doing like a speaking engagement that I know is going to make me money and that applies towards a goal, because it's not going to help push the ball forward. If I think it is and I'm running into a certain bottleneck that I know if I go there I'll get it solved, cool. But me going just to go drink and have a good time with my friends and then still say I'm doing business, but then I end up traveling for 6 months out of the year, you lose a lot of cadence in that situation. I know for sure that we do, right? So like over the last month, like I've been traveling nonstop, and I'm sitting here thinking like, man, I haven't even had time to get in deep work. Number 1, because we're drinking all the time. Number 2, because like I'm not in my own routine, and yes, your routine isn't good, but being able to just like stay in a zone and work and not have other outside variables come and throw me off. Like I just don't sleep good outside of my own bed, whether in Salt Lake or in Fresno. And so if I'm not in that situation, then my habit routines are thrown off, and the things that trigger my habits don't go off, and then like nothing really gets done, and I feel scatterbrained. Someone who can travel a lot and still get a lot done, awesome. For me, it just doesn't happen that way. So you don't want to go to all these masterminds. And then I'm not a big fan of conferences. I don't think conferences really help anybody. You're gonna go hear a bunch of people on stage who are going to sell you hard as fuck on whatever product or service they're trying to sell, and it's not going to change your life. If they're legit, they probably hit you with the online marketing anyways. And like, yeah, you get the networking aspect, but for a lot of people, bro, like it's time to just go fucking work. Most conferences, like I don't know, we just have so many different things going on to where like I don't go to a conference. I'll call up the person I know, and then we'll go to 1 conference a year instead of going to 1 every quarter, just because at that 1 conference I know I can create enough connections to where, and the business world is pretty small, to where I'm like 1 to 2 phone calls away from anything I need in my current situation. I'm not saying I'm 2 phone calls away from Tony Robbins, but I am saying I am 2 phone calls away from majority of any type of problem I am currently running into in my business. Like just flat out. To where I know someone who knows somebody, I can hop on the phone with them and be like, hey, I'm running into this, can you help me? What is the dollar amount, or they can help me for free? And that's built up over me going to like masterminds and conferences before, but then now we run into a situation to where like, honestly, for what I want to accomplish, I need to be laying down more groundwork and going and doing conferences and masterminds less, like especially for like our storage mastermind. Kalani and I were talking about this the other day, and like, dude, we just canceled on one of them because this dude tried to fucking snake us and sell us a bad deal. He got super pissed. I just lost $11,000. And then for Powerhouse, I haven't implemented what I needed to as far as our funnel on some of the online stuff. And so I was like, okay, so those 2 things, we haven't stepped forward in those 2 areas. There's no point in going. Number 1, for the storage rebellion, all we'd be doing is mentally masturbating and not getting anything done, or we could just be working on getting deals. And 2, for Powerhouse, so I was doing 75 hard, and they go so fucking hard and party the entire time. I was like, I don't want the distraction, and if I do go there, I want to enjoy myself. So, food for thought for you guys. You don't need to go to all these events and all of these masterminds. Yes, you should join them. I found my limit to be 3 masterminds at a time, just due to travel constraints and me feeling like I'm not getting enough done. Maybe it probably is a limiting belief, but me going and talking to people who are my friends who aren't going to buy from me doesn't help me make any more money. And if I've gone to like one of the events and I really network with them and I connect with them, I have all the opportunities to hit them up on the phone and build that relationship that way. Food for thought: don't go traveling all the time, because the goal isn't to be in masterminds, the goal is to be in business.